Day-colored wine, night-colored wine, wine with purple feet or wine with topaz blood, wine, starry child of earth, wine, smooth as a golden sword, soft as lascivious velvet, wine, spiral seashelled and full of wonder, amorous, marine. Never has one goblet contained you, one song, one man.
Azerbaijan, spanning 9 distinct climatic zones, is renowned for its winemaking heritage and wines from diverse grape varieties. Such diversity not only fosters the nation's winemaking industry, but also boosted enoturism, drawing a multitude of global visitors annually. We are embarking on a captivating sensory journey to one of Azerbaijan's foremost wineries to discover the artistry behind the production of the esteemed Azerbaijani wine, SAVALAN. Our adventure unfolds in enchanting and historically rich city of Gabala, a popular tourist destination in Azerbaijan. Once the heart of ancient Caucasian Albania, Gabala has been playing a pivotal role in Azerbaijani history since the 1st century BC. The ancient temples of bygone era continue to amaze visitors to this day. Nestled 40 kilometers from Gabala, the SAVALAN Winery, one of Azerbaijan's largest, takes its name from the eponymous plain that hosts its vineyards. Dominating the landscape is an iconic mountain, a magnificent tribute to nature, known locally as the Sleeping Beauty for its protective embrace against the winds. The mountain graces every bottle of SAVALAN's products. It's not just a place where wines are born, it's a revered temple where each bottle narrates the story of the lush soil, the succulent grapes, and the passionate dedication to the art of winemaking.
We started with a vision of crafting proper wine in Azerbaijan, leveraging our rich lands, abundant opportunities, and the distinctive terroir we are blessed with. Initially, the plan was simply to cultivate grapes sufficient to produce our own fine wine. Yet, as we went on, planting an additional 2 hectares, then 3, our venture naturally evolved into a full-fledged winery, stepping beyond the scope of mere home winemaking. Recognizing the potential to grow into a bona fide business, we began to step up our operations and sought out the expertise of the Italian winemakers. Denis Rudenko, a highly esteemed expert, appreciates Azerbaijan for its practical approach to winemaking, as the country didn't attempt to reinvent the wheel. Instead, wineries in Azerbaijan have enlisted top-notch professionals from various nations. At our winery, as well as others across the country, you'll find Italian, French, and Moldovan winemakers. These international experts have been invited to craft wine utilizing the most advanced European technologies. Understandably, our priority was to acquire quality grape wines, so we sourced samplings from an Italian company. Mr. Sartori, associated with the company, famously said that while one can make poor wine from good grapes, one cannot produce good wine from bad grapes. That principle forms our approach. On his recommendation, we met with Daniel, a dynamic and forward-looking expert, and an 8th-generation winemaker who was eager to join us. Our vineyard boasts 22 technical grape varieties, including whites like Viognier, Chardonnay, Verdejo, Sauvignon Blanc, Muscat, and Traminer, to name a few. Among the reds, we cultivate standards such as Syrah, Elegant Boucher, Grenache, Petit Verdot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, among others.
Every drop of SAVALAN wine embodies love and a sentiment that rings true when one learns of the romantic tale of 2 third-generation Italian technologists, Daniele De Andrea and Elisa Vagnoni, who fell in love at the SAVALAN Winery in Azerbaijan. They were invited from Italy to the Land of Fire by the management of SAVALAN to help revive winemaking and share their unique experience. Their collaboration on Azerbaijani soil blossomed into a strong love, forming a solid family unit, and now this Italian couple crafts exceptional Azerbaijani wines together.
Daniel and I knew each other since our college days. We were classmates and simply friends. Yet it was in Azerbaijan that our hearts truly connected. Here we found love with one another.
Daniel was first to arrive in Azerbaijan, accepting an invitation that brought him here. He shares that departing from Italy to pioneer a new venture in Azerbaijan was a challenging decision, but Eliza was the sole person who offered him her unwavering support.
Our love story began with grapes. Both my family and Eliza's have always been involved in winemaking in Italy. Probably for this reason, it has been very easy for us to understand each other. We grew up immersed in the culture of winemaking. Upon my arrival, I immediately asked the company's management, "What kind of wine do you want to produce?" And they showed me Amarone Tamasi, in short, the very best wine in Italy. I was shocked responding to them. Yes, I know, these are the best wines in Italy and we can achieve the same in Azerbaijan, but it will take me from 3 to 4 years. And we plunged into the work process, and in 2012, SAVALAN already received its first medals. I was very inspired, and year after year, we have been improving our wine, and now we have more than 20 varieties of wine. Eliza came aboard in 2011, a time when our growth was so swift that handling it solo became impossible. Her support was singular and decisive. She was the one who wholeheartedly supported my move to Azerbaijan, insisting, "You must go."
He was hesitant about coming here, having never set foot in the country before. We were both uncertain about the state of the vineyards, but I stood out among his friends as the only who encouraged him to take the leap without fear. 6 months into the winery project, it became clear to the management that the endeavor was rapidly expanding, blossoming from some small-scale dream into a grand venture right before their eyes. That's when Daniel reached out to me for help, recognizing that the SAVALAN Winery was quickly outgrowing its initial blueprint. When I arrived in Gabala, the reality surpassed my expectations. Everything I witnessed seemed almost like a dream.
Currently, the SAVALAN Winery cultivates 23 grape varieties. Nestled at an altitude of around 400 meters above sea level, the vineyards bask in a plentiful sunshine, facilitating the growth of a variety of grapes that favor warmth, such as Red Flash Alicante Boucher. The winery harnesses cutting-edge Italian technologies to craft wines that are rich and delightful in taste.
Actually, what we're using here is an absolutely new Italian technology. As you can see, there are springs here. These are useful when dealing with new samplings that start off quite small. With this system, you can elevate the metal trellis framework that supports and protects the growing grape vines. The springs provide an adjustable tension mechanism that can be modified as the vines mature, ensuring the right support at every stage of growth. And as you can observe, this setup is anchored securely at the base as well.
What a construction!
Yes, indeed. The vine must grow upwards, and it's critical for it to do so correctly. It must capture a precise quantity of light and sun for optimal growth, which is facilitated by the tension system in place. This is a breakthrough that has emerged in the past 5 to 7 years. If you observe from this angle, you can clearly make out the springs and the tension mechanisms at work. Agronomists regularly tend to these, tweaking the system, either lifting or lowering the wires to
the ideal height.
Notice the dual lines of wire designed to fully support the vine's stem. This is the latest in vineyard technology.
It's probably around 10 a.m. now, right? Yes, 10 a.m.
No, it's actually 9:20 a.m. 20 minutes past 9.
It seems to be about 36 degrees Celsius outside, and as a layperson, I'm quite curious about how you manage to maintain such large green vineyards. How do they not succumb to the heat? What conditions have been established here to ensure the grapes are delicious and, in turn, produce delightful wine?
One of the tools we utilize is this weather station right here. If you look upward, you'll see a basket designed to measure rainfall. This device here captures wind data, and interestingly, this imitation leaf gauges moisture levels on and beneath the grapevine's leaves. Additionally, there are cables extending into the earth. All these readings are analyzed and sent electronically to our technologist, who then decides the necessary actions, like adjusting the water levels. It's crucial for the vines to receive just the right amount of water. Too much or too little can be detrimental, so maintaining a precise balance is key. For water supply, let's turn our attention to the man-made lake. Positioned 400 meters above sea level and flanked by rivers on both sides, the vineyards generally receive ample water. However, we have to be prepared to supplement it when necessary, which is why we've established a reserve. Down below, there is a pumping station that draws water from the mountain streams.
Yes, it's truly amazing.
Indeed, the water is channeled into the artificial lake and then goes through a filtration process. It's not visible from the surface because the irrigation system here is subterranean drip irrigation.
In a sense, there are pipes.
Yes, the pipes are underground, and the reason they're not above ground. Typically, that's the common practice in Europe, but here's the sun is so intense. If you water from above, 80% of it evaporates. But with our system, the water is delivered directly and efficiently to the roots, providing just the right amount needed.
We are in the cellars of the SAVALAN Winery, surrounded by these oak barrels where the wine matures. We are literally at the heart of the facility. It's from here that the wine is bottled and then it makes its way to our tables. The sail from soil to glass captures the essence of SAVALAN Winery. Each drop of wine invites us on a voyage through the annals of the history, the bounty of nature and the favor of winemaking, all coming together in one glass.
Here at SAVALAN, we never stop. We cannot say stop, we have achieved perfection. I am always aware that our team's collective effort is what enhances our wine day by day, surpassing its quality from the day before.
No matter how extensively we describe wine, it is a sensory experience that must be personally explored to discover one's unique taste. To truly understand the essence of wine, one should delve into its realm, navigating through the bouquet of aromas and flavors, which also serves as an odyssey into the history and culture of Azerbaijan.
I'm currently holding a premium dry red wine, border style, crafted from body varieties of the 2016 vintage, matured for 16 months in barrique barrels. The wines here, if tinged with brown, suggest maturity. However, the cherry-like coloration we see here signals a relatively young wine, around 7 to 8 years old. Even without knowing the alcohol content, we can deduce the alcohol volume by the wine's tears. These legs show an alcohol content of around 14 to 14.5%. Thicker legs imply higher alcohol, while broader legs suggest a lower content of about 12 or 13%. We evaluate the wine by its color, luster, and clarity, and then by its aroma. Considering the specific aromas, we can pinpoint the presence of components like Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon, as well as the chocolate undertones associated with Alicante Bouschet.
On the 28th of February 2013, the ASPI Winery, the producer of SAVALAN wines, had the honor of hosting the president of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev. The company's management shared with the head of state the central mission of one of the country's largest enterprises to restore the glory of nation's wine industry, which has a centuries-old history.
SAVALAN is a national brand because of the unique climate of the region. For instance, this morning we set out, we told you it was cool and suggested you put on a jacket, but now we stand in a scorching 42 degrees Celsius. Later it will cool down to 22 degrees again. These distinct climatic conditions give Azerbaijani wines their special character. When we ventured into the European market, we did the opposite and offered standard wines for tasting, like Syrah, Chardonnay, Viognier, so that connoisseurs could appreciate the nuances that distinguish Azerbaijani Syrah from its European ones. The differences are significant.
Currently, the winemaking industry in Azerbaijan is experiencing rapid growth. With the backing of the government and through the personal decree from the President of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, the annual establishment of vineyards has expanded to 8,800 hectares. Today, the country's vineyard coverage has reached 18,000 hectares. In the 2022, the total grape yield reached more than 200,000 tons. Founded in 2007, SAVALAN has risen to prominence as a high-quality wine brand both domestically and abroad. The SAVALAN wines have been awarded the status of Protected Geographical Indication (PGI) for origin. The winery has amassed a total of 60 wine medals at prominent international wine competitions, including 17 gold, 18 silver, and 26 bronze medals. Moreover, at the end of 2021, SAVALAN was bestowed with one of the most prestigious honors in the winemaking industry, being recognized for producing the best Old World wine. The SAVALAN Nobel 2016 exclusive collection was unanimously chosen for this accolade by the jury. Stepping into a Michelin-starred dining restaurant, you have the opportunity to discover SAVALAN wines, each with a distinctive personality that captures the essence of Azerbaijan's unique terroir. Crafted with a cutting-edge technology, these wines manage to stay true to the venerable traditions of winemaking.
I believe that Azerbaijan upholds international standards remarkably well across the board. It's a land of tourism, attracting a vast influx of visitors, and it's also a nascent region of winemaking. I've been visiting Azerbaijan regularly since 2010, and with each visit I witnessed the change.
Everything has changed since I first arrived in Baku. Now it's a completely different Azerbaijan. The pace of growth here is impressively rapid. It's a joy to watch this development unfold. The nation is blossoming right before my eyes, and I have grown to love this land as if it were my own and is a heartfelt trust.
And the core of it all are the people who put their heart and soul into this product. It's the soil here that yields the grape. Equipment can be acquired, but without quality grapes, there is no winemaking.
SAVALAN wines stand as worthy rivals to the venerable titans of the winemaking world such as France and Italy, and they may even excel beyond them in certain respects.
In Michelin-starred restaurants, it's not about money. You can't simply pay to have your wines featured there. You provide samples for tasting. Michelin venues meticulously interweave their culinary offerings with wine selections. Their approach is holistic. Dining there transcends simply eating well. It's about the synergy of food and wine. They tailor the food to complement the wine. And two-star Michelin chef wrote that for the first time in his life, he's crafting a menu specifically tailored to the wine.
The winemaking of Azerbaijan is an artistic tapestry woven from history, passion, professionalism, and love, where everyone is certain to find something that resonates with them, selecting a divine drink that suits their taste and character.
If I were to compare my and my wife's personalities to wine, I would say I'm less emotional, less aggressive, but can be very strict. Eliza is definitely not a mascot, as many women are often likened to. She embodies the qualities of a Chardonnay. From this grape, you can get everything. Whereas I'm a Syrah with a calm character from which, for example, you can make a rosé.
I am red wine, undoubtedly I have a very strong character and I myself prefer red wine. You can find so much in red wine, with every sip something new unfolds. It opens up its place. To put it in wine terms, I am akin to a noble, a Cabernet Franc, while Daniel, my husband, possesses a milder disposition. Akin to a Syrah, I am like fire. In the wrong circumstances, I can be intense. Conversely, Daniel's character is gentle. Perhaps this contrast is the secret to our enduring love. Despite our differences, we share a profound love for the same things: Italy, Azerbaijan, and our wine.
Each year, Azerbaijan welcomes thousands of tourists from all corners of the world who come to visit the SAVALAN Winery. It's a place where you can create unforgettable memories with your family and friends while savoring exceptional wines amidst the backdrop of breathtaking nature scenery. Your visit will include a guided tour of the winery, a chance to explore its unique wine cellars, and a memorable wine tasting experience, all wrapped in the genuine hospitality that Azerbaijan is known for. As you sit in the opulent restaurant of the winery, perched atop one of the highest points in the SAVALAN Valley, you'll not only delight in exceptional wines, but also have the opportunity to indulge in the national cuisine, renowned as one of the world's most delectable. Azerbaijan, with its warm and welcoming spirit, unveils its priceless treasures, from its fertile land to all those who venture here.
It is our soil, and while we share the same sun with others, the terroir here is truly distinctive. Many inquire, your technology is Italian, your equipment is Italian, everything is built and done according to Italian methods. What's Azerbaijani about it? I respond, sun and soil. Daniel corrected me, stating, we have the same sun, but the soil of yours is so magnificent that you may not fully grasp its splendor, my friends.
Every cluster of Azerbaijani grapes has absorbed the warmth of the southern sun, the refreshing moisture from mountain streams, and most importantly, the love and care of those who tend to them daily. This results in the creation of the truly distinct and most delicious Azerbaijani wine.
Wine stirs the spring. Happiness bursts through the earth like a plant. Walls crumble and rocky cliffs, chasms close. A song is born.